Welcome to another edition of Business Tuesday. Remember, this is a program where we learn everything about business. It's the only program where all matters to do with business and entrepreneurship. This is where you get all the insights. And today on the show, I'm having a gentleman who is a businessman and also an entrepreneur. He shall be taking us through the interview, telling us more about what he does, which today we shall be covering about the car hire and also the event management. So he's going to introduce himself and then we'll proceed with the program. My name is Maurice Owino. Keep watching Lolwe Tv. So kindly to the viewer.
Thank you so much and thanks for the opportunity. My name is Philip Ogunanayo. Of course an entrepreneur. I call myself more of an entrepreneur than a businessman. And in so many kind of business ventures. But majorly today I think I'll talk about the car hire that I've run for the last 12 years and the event for the last 3 years and catching up in the industry. Yeah.
So Eddie, let's begin with the events because I know for the car hire also we'll be talking about it before we end the program.
Yeah.
You are saying that you've been for this not a long time.
Yeah, just right? 3 years ago.
3 years
after I've exited my political life.
Yeah, we understand that also our guest is also a former MCA,
of
right?
course, former MCA of Market Kulimani, a minority leader.
A minority leader.
Yeah.
That is very nice to the viewer. Now, you're saying that you started the business of events 3 years ago.
Yes.
How is it doing so far?
I would say before starting it, I actually did a research for 3 years. Yeah, because sometimes when you talk about business for 3 years before talking about the researcher, because that's one of the major phases where people just get into business before doing research. So it's very fundamental that I explained that before starting the event business, I actually took an entire 3 years doing my survey, doing my research on what needs to be done, how it's being done, and how it can be done better. Why I started events is because on several occasions I will attend functions and it will be really annoying to find people from Nairobi and Mombasa coming all the way from Nairobi to come and do events here, simply because there was nobody who had capacity to do such big events. So I saw an opportunity and researched about the opportunity and read about the things immediately after exiting my politics. Actually, it gave me a landing border to get busy. You know, having been a politician without something busy to do, then you can really disoriented. So I would say the business, it's been a blessing and I wouldn't complain about it. Just like any other businesses, we have challenges, but one of the biggest challenge of such kind of an event, it is capital intensive. That is why you don't find so many people doing it. People do it in small scale. So the level that at which we've gotten in, without the right channels, without the right support from the banks and the shareholders at all who are doing events, then probably I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, it's good that you have explained it because that was going to be my second question. I wanted to ask why is it that after exiting politics you decided to do events, which you have actually explained very well that you saw an opportunity.
Exactly.
And I think that one was also because of you being in politics. You know, a politician, you deal with a lot of events and you could see people coming all the way from Mombasa and you guys have no one to offer such services.
Exactly.
And there you came. And now you are telling us that right now it's 3 years down the line, but apart from challenges, we can say probably it's doing well.
No, it's doing well. It's doing well. You know, just like any other business, you get to have the right skills and knowledge. And I think on the part of research, even before I started doing this, I had to go back to school to run something that was going to be relevant to what I was going to do. Because having the right knowledge and skills plus passion to run an event, then you have to. So I would say the business is doing very well, and within 3 years, I've actually expanded in Nairobi and Mombasa. Within the 3 years, and I look at a scenario whereby within the next 2 years. My strategic plan is probably to go to Uganda. This expansion and even future intended expansion wouldn't be possible if there's nothing worth the sweat. So I will tell you, it is worth, it is lucrative, there's prospect in it, and I'm pushing hard on it.
looks like this is something you really wanted to do, because you're also saying that you went actually to school to study, to have some knowledge on the background of the kind of this event that you wanted to take over.
Yeah.
And now after going to school, I believe you got the right knowledge, and that's why you are telling us that your business right now, at least you are not complaining, it's doing well.
Yeah.
So what about, what do you think of the competitors? Because we know very well you are not alone in this.
Exactly.
There could be some few individuals around, and how do you work with your competitors?
Having been in business before, still in business now, and want to be in business in the future, then probably you have to read the trends. But one thing that I've noted for a very long time, that people tend to copy-paste business that other people do. If today you start a business, even you as a winner, and then I will assure you that 40-30% of your friends would want to actually photocopy or paste what you're doing. So I have always tried to be above the game. I would say I'm a shrewd businessman or a go-getter, stroke a schemer. So while I'm here today, I actually know there are people who are scheming to do the exact thing that I'm doing. So I am thinking ahead of them to diversify in case they come in the game. Actually, I started events by just having sound on stage. Then immediately there's so many people ventured in the same business. So I went a notch higher by getting screens. And now I'm doing the mega tents that I would say I'm the only one who has, in Western Kenya. So you have to do the same things differently from how people do them. And if you get an opportunity, probably invest in complicated things that will otherwise take them long to know how to do them. So that before they copy you, you shall have invested and harvested your investment and move forward. So that's my scheme. I am not planning to be here forever, but I'm planning to do the same thing differently and probably sophisticatedly in such a way that even if they come, they wouldn't do it. Yeah.
That's a very nice way of doing things, and also to stay ahead of your competitors. But now, here comes a question. You are telling me that for you to stay above, to use the sophisticated stuff.
Yeah.
Now, here comes the question of the capital. You know, those big things, sometimes they need a lot of money. How do you manage that area of capital?
Actually, without mincing word, I will tell you for sure that it was not an easy decision. Probably convincing some of my family members to dispose a few things that we had so that I would start this business. But my family trusts me and they know the kind of person I am, especially my wife. So, to say the least, I had actually to sell the only house I had to start this investment. It was a big risk. But it's a risk that your wife will only allow you if she is sure of the kind of person you are. The journey hasn't been easy, just like I said. And of course, the shareholders has played a major role in my success until this point. Yeah, because you can't do any business without loans. So the banks have been a major source of finance to most of the things that I buy. Yeah, because they run into millions. So at the moment, fine, I'm in business. I wouldn't say I'm making so much profit, but my joy, my pride is creation of employment. As we speak today, I have created employment of over 50 people. I am sure for a fact I'm going to pay my loans, I'm going to sort myself, and that is what drives me every day. As I create employment, the little that I get, I know for a fact that in the future I will enjoy the planting that I'm doing right now. So it's not cheap. That's why you see so many people doing the normal tents. Personally, I don't do the normal tents. I do the mega tents, the big ones that occupy people like about 10,000. The major funerals that happen these sides, I do them. The conferences, Council of Governors, the senators, when they had a function at Grand Royal Suisse, I'm the one who did it because I'm the only one who has the capacity to do such kind of an event in Western Kenya without necessarily importing or exporting things from other places to come and work here.
That's very nice, Eddie. Now, I want to take you back down to memory lane in politics, but before we go there, what you're doing is very nice. Do you think you can coach someone? Maybe are you working among the 50 employees that you're talking about? Have you spotted any that you think these are to share the talent with him or her?
Actually, besides, one of the things that I do, that I create time to do, unfortunately today you came and I've actually given her the saving boxes I have. Besides business, I am a mentor. And I mentor so many people. And I actually prefer mentoring kids than even adults. Because we have to cultivate the culture of money and savings at a younger age. Yeah. There's a saying that goes that you cannot teach or mentor, teach old dog new tricks. Yes. So I actually spend most of my time trying to mentor the young kids. So as I speak right now, there are so many of my employees, and my motto is, and you can ask any of them, I normally tell them, I don't want to be your employer forever. I want you to be better than me. And if you cannot be better than me, I want you to get your own flock and manage at some particular moment. Yeah, because the essence and the only reason why I am working with somebody is to train them. So my imagination, or my especially after some time, they should leave and start their own. Yeah. So I am a trainer. I train, I motivate, and I encourage them. Yeah. Because you don't expect them to do well if they cannot do well for themselves. Yeah. So if they get an opportunity, let them move. The only difference is most times, most of us are never ready for the opportunity.
When they come.
Yeah. Opportunity normally gets us unaware. And like my scenario when I told you about my case, I saw an opportunity and I went, researched about the opportunity, got the right knowledge and skill about the opportunity, and when the right time came, I was already equipped with the right knowledge to manage the opportunity. And I think that is the reason as why I am at this level. Yeah. So I mentor. I have people that I really value, that actually I'm looking at them as future employers. The only thing I wouldn't want my employee to do is probably leave me here in a manner that, in a disrespectful manner. But when you come to me as an employer and tell me, my boss, I think it is time for me to start my own empire, kindly support me. Because the market is so wide and big, and no man is an island. He will equally still need me to use some of my things. I will probably need his expertise and some of the things that he has. So there is need for coexistence amongst every other person that does events. Yeah.
That's very nice. We are just taking a short break, and before we do, let's talk to any youth at home that is watching us right now. My guest is saying it's the right time for the youth to be alert to see the opportunity whenever they come our way, because actually that has been the very, very main problem for the youth, because when the opportunity knocks, we can't see it, and then it passes us, and that's why we continue maybe remaining where we are. So we are taking a short break on that note. Remember, these are Business Tuesday, every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. on Lolwe Television Network. My name is Maurice Owino. Keep watching Lolwe TV. Right, guys, welcome back. Remember, you're watching Business Tuesday, the show where you learn everything concerning business. And today on the show, we are having a gentleman who is talking to us concerning some of the businesses that he is running. Remember, our guest on the show has also been a politician, and is somebody that you know very well. And if maybe probably like you are joining us for the second round, I'm going again to allow him to introduce himself for the sake of that person who is tuning in his or her TV at this particular time, because we have the first beat and now this is the second beat. Karibu sana Eddie to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, probably you can again introduce yourself for the sake of that.
Thank you so much. An entrepreneur, just like I said initially, not a businessman. There is so much distinction between a businessman and an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur is somebody who has to be innovative and going out of his way to do things in a unique way. Yeah, so initially I talked about an event company. I'm going to talk about my first company. I will call it Mikai. A company that
the mother of
everything. Yeah, so that's Fiat on Travels. Fiat on Travels is unique to me because this is a company I started without a single cent. This is a company that I started without any knowledge in terms of direct knowledge from school. This is a company that made me sacrifice the scholarship I got. I actually got a scholarship in 2008 to study in the United States. A free scholarship to study entrepreneurship. Then I had only one car. So I went to the States. I was supposed to be staying there for 1 year, but I only stayed there for 10 days and came back. The reason as to why I came back is because my imagination was, by the time I come back after 1 year, I shall have lost the only car that I had, And probably with knowledge, without capital to start my business, it was going to be, a tall order for me to pick again.
So you came back and did what?
So actually, when I told these guys I was coming back, they thought a psychiatrist to cancel me in the States. But I told them I am a young, focused man, basically with little knowledge in terms of academia. But I know, given time and opportunity, I will go back to school. So the short of the story is I came back to Kenya before clearing the 1 year. And my parents and every other person thought I was mad because people think in the US people actually plow money from the
And
trees.
you also see people love going to the US.
Yeah.
So they were like, why are you coming?
No, but one thing I actually told my psychiatrist is that I will be able to travel to the States anytime I want in the future. Because money is power. With money you can buy so many things. The only thing that money cannot buy is passport to heaven. But it can also prolong your life even when you're dead in the ICU. So I came back and I worked hard. I worked hard. I will tell you in 2010 I actually had 45 cars on my name.
2010.
2010.
And by this time you had not joined politics?
No. I actually joined politics in 2013. Yeah, so I was actually one of the youngest entrepreneurs
so
around.
Hold that thought, Eddie. Whoever is watching us could be wondering, at 2010 and also looking at you are still very young.
Yeah.
And 2010 you had around 40 cars under your name.
Under my name. Already.
And you here went to the US and again came back. How did you acquire all this?
I told you I started without a single cent. And so there were people who were doing car hire then. One of them that cannot go unmentioned is Fred Wagoro, who actually ran Swiss Travels. And one guy called Raim. For those who lived in Kisumu for a very long time, Raim used to sell ice cream at Mega Plaza, just at the entrance. He also had a few cars. So I used to use Raim's cars. The only thing that I did differently was actually whenever I would give out Fred's car or Raim's car, I would bank the entire money in my account. Then move from the door, come to the ATM, withdraw what was meant for them, leaving the company, and pay them. So I developed a good relationship, one, with the bank, in that there was in and outflow of money. Because what the bank looks at the end of the day is the turnover, not what is in the account at a particular time. Raim, on the other side, had a relationship with somebody called who sell cars, Alusnain Motors. So because of the good way and the good relationship I had developed with Raim actually sold me his first car through the bank. Then subsequently introduced me to Kashif Alusnain, who later started giving me cars in hire purchase. So within no time I had so many cars. Of course, it wasn't easy. For so many people, my age mates and people even above me wondered how I would manage, to manage such a low profile life, at the same time manage such number of vehicles.
One would be quick to ask that if in 2010 you had around 40, right now how many?
Right now I have decided to remodel my business again because not having so many cars is making money. I have remodeled my business in such a way that I have a few on my name but subcontract a lot. This will reduce my expense in terms of repairs, insurance, and reduce my liabilities on so many things. Then again, over time, then I was only doing car hire. Currently, I'm doing so many things. So I've also diversified. With time you diversify so that whenever there's a calamity, it doesn't affect your entire business. But one thing that I will also say that really, really uplifted me and made my bank account, really, really boom in terms was when Jetlink, you remember Jetlink flight came in? I was one of their major agents. And I will do between 20 to 30 passengers daily at an average of 10,000 per ticket. So that means on a daily basis, I'll do an average of 200 to 300,000. It's a turnover. This was not my money because out of this 300, probably my money is only 10 or 30,000 because the commission was 5% of the overall cost. But just like I said before, the bank looks at the turnover, doesn't look at what you own. So that's really propelled me to be able to be viewed in society as one who is eligible to get such higher financing. Yeah, so that's really helped me.
So that is a very good way of doing things, Eddie. Yeah. I know the viewer, maybe some of them are shocked. They are like, hey, this guy, do you think, is there any secret behind how you do your stuff?
Of course, there are so many secrets that I'm never shy to hide. Just that it needs consistency, patience, and time. There's no shortcut in business. Everything, you go to know what you're doing and do it rightfully. If you don't have the knowledge, you have to get it. But again, every business, before we do every business, there's this thing that we normally taught when you're in college called SMART. You know, before you start doing any business, you have to check whether the business is specific. In this business, is it measurable? Are you able to determine from this time to this time that I am here, I want to be here, I want to put this point? Is it attainable? That dream that you have or goal, is it attainable? You know, is it which you are able to invest certain kind of money
so
and
for the car business, is there a time frame for your case?
Of course, there was a time frame for me. I had statistics. I knew within this time I want to do this. I will say without mincing my word that I was the first person to ever own a bus for tours and travel within Kisumu region. And even then, of course, it was just branded my name. Nobody else has owned one. I will say without mincing my word, I was the first one to own a VX in Kahaya. And I will say it without mincing my word, even currently as at now, I am the only one who has a Mercedes S600, S550 and CLK for hire. Nobody else does Mercedes for hire. And that brings you back to my initial point. Everybody is doing car hire. But what is it? What is that uniqueness that you're going to have above? What is that leverage?
That is what I wanted to ask you.
So that is my leverage. I do things differently and measure mostly on the sophisticated now cars. That was sophisticated equipment. Now I have sophisticated, beautiful, executive German machines.
So what are the fleet of cars? Okay, you have said you have a Mercedes-Benz. Which one again?
Of course, I have Prados. I have VX. Yeah. So I'm only measuring and investing on the high-end cars. Because again, since car hire became a booming business, every other person in Kisumu does car hire. Even when somebody has one car, he does car hire. So the secret is on those high-end cars and subcontracts and make your money out of it. Because again, I don't want to manage 50 or 60 cars at the moment. So I want to manage 5 or 10 on the higher side. Yeah, to reduce my headache. But again, fundamentally, me as Philip Pedunanayo, I may not be able to run the entire business. So that brings me to a very, very sensitive point, that our staff. Again, as a person, if I equip myself with too much knowledge, while I don't reciprocate the same knowledge to my staff, then probably we may not communicate. Yeah. You must also understand your staff. What do they like and what they don't like? And you don't want to relate to his or her personal issues. Probably they don't appreciate you. So the greatest asset that every employer has to treat well is the staff. So probably you have to get the right way of making your staff feel part of you, engage with them, relate with them, so that they work for you.
That's very nice, Eddie. I know we are almost winding up the program, but now we can't close it before we talk about a little bit about your life as a politician. And also, I want you to answer this question. To a layman, talking about car business and car hire, some would ask, what are the risks that come with it? For example, if I hire a car and then it gets an accident outside there, who is going to pay? Is it the person that you're giving out the car, or what expenses are you going to incur as a person?
Car hire have different models of working.
On that one.
Of course. One is self-drive and is chauffeur-driven. When you take my car with a driver, of course, all liabilities follow me. When you take my car for self-driven, we have an agreement that you have to sign. And in case, God forbid, but in case of an accident, you only pay the 10%, which is the excess factor for the insurance of a problem. It is sorted out with the insurance within the shortest time possible. Yeah, so that's
and on what makes you tick above other people who also do the same business. How about your charges? How do you do?
That you will walk to any car hire company and walk to mine, then you'll know the distinct business difference. Yeah, image is everything. For me, image. Many people who are ready to spend money on the right thing. So my clientele are a bit on the higher note, but they serve me. Again, everybody has to identify his clients. Yeah. So for my clients, I have identified them. I deal with RAV4s and above. They're serving me well. When I started, I was also dealing with small cars. But with time, you have to change and make things different. Everybody now owns the market. So I have my niche.
That one is a good, Eddie. Now, to the politics, only for 1 minute. We know that politics especially in Kenya, is a game that everybody would love to stay on for a very long time.
Yeah.
This is a problem we've been having in Africa as a whole, where people don't want to leave power.
Yeah.
You very young, you got a chance to serve people and you left.
Yes.
Why didn't you want to run for a second term?
One, I went to politics not to make money but to create employment. Because before politics, I was employment of about 30. I thought I would do more in politics. Little did I realize that most people go to politics in quotes to make money. I am still young. I have a long way to go. I went as an MCA. I realized I'm a manager of resources. I need to put myself in the future in a place whereby I will be given resources to manage, create employment, make profit for the county. One day be a governor of so many places. I can be a governor of Kisumu, I can be a governor of Migori, I can be a governor of Nairobi. I will work towards it. The 5 P's: prior planning, prevent poor performance. I will focus. When the right time comes, I will